Alright, well, it's the next to last Saturday of the Flintlock season, and it was raining yesterday, so got my pastor Sam and his son Sammy, and we're gonna go out and see if we can get some deer down. The rain just stopped. It'll be easy sneaking, but just hopefully the moisture allows the guns to go off real fast. And so we're gonna sneak around on the property and see what we can get today. Alright, we're walking down through here. We got Sammy posted up over here. We're gonna do a little drive, see what we can see. We got Sam over here. He's gonna look out over the bottom here, see if anything comes out. Well, first drive, the deer skirted us. There was a couple doe, and they didn't really run back in the drive, but that's the only problem with you know, the fewer people you have on post, the more places the deer can get around. So we probably pushed them in the right direction, but it just, they didn't come by one of the guys. So we're gonna keep hunting. They're on the other side of the property now. We'll go over there because we only saw a couple, so there should be a lot of deer somewhere. So hopefully one of the guys get a shot at one here soon. Just had a shot. Two come right up to me. I couldn't get the camera on in time. One stayed down there below. Just heard a shot. Sounded like Sammy. That is awesome. Go down and see if he got anything.
I lost her when she got down in there.
So he got a shot at one. She come right down through here, and he made about she was right in between him and that tree right there, and
should have burnt the hair off. 6 yard shot.
Yeah.
Still missed.
But missed right there. It was on the run and
never touched
come right beside it, and but at that close you definitely would find hair and blood. And clean miss over to the other side. Maybe we'll see her again. So okay, so now we're gonna go through some extra footage. This is just stuff that there's really no context to it. Just walking up a logging road and deer jumps out, tried to get the camera on, runs away. Another time here, watching this deer. Actually, I watched this deer for like 8 minutes or more, and it would not step out behind the tree. So it finally just turned around, went the other way. There was some few more deer behind it, and was never really able to get a shot. So we're just going to go through some of this footage that just to show you how many different opportunities I had that were so close, and how difficult it is to actually try to get a shot self-filming. Here just happened to be walking, spotted dark shadow under a pine tree, trying to get the camera lined up perfectly. I was going to try to shoot the deer in the bed. I was also making sure it wasn't a button buck. Didn't look like it was a button buck. As soon as I knew, I stepped back, went to pull the gun up, and as I'm actually rising the gun up, then the deer gets up, takes off running. Here's another time I sneak up. I just had a bunch of deer, 8 or 9 of them, go to my right through thick brush. I couldn't get a shot. There's 2 deer left behind. And obviously, again, there's always a branch right in the vitals or something. But then I started thinking, well, this looked like a smaller deer. I could tell there was another one behind it. You could see the nose. They were trying to smell me real hard. Well, that was a button buck. You can kind of see the bump on its head. And that's why I just didn't want to take that shot, because I really didn't want to take a shot at a button buck, and they never really gave me a good shot. It's the way it was the entire season. Here's another time I snuck through the woods just to try to get in front of some deer that I bumped, and as soon as I got there, they come through, and they were actually pretty far away. I have the camera zoomed in, and I'm trying to figure out where they're going to go, get the camera out in front of the deer. And when I do, I move around, and, well, as you can see, one of them sees me, takes off, they all go around. Here another day, a friend of mine trying, look at this deer to the right. That deer, literally, I'm right beside a tree, and if I would have just stuck my foot, you know, just straight back, I probably would have tripped that deer. That deer was literally 1.5 feet away from my back. I could feel the wind from the deer as it ran by. But, you know, these deer, it's so open in the woods that they only stop when they get to a thicket. So here's the doe that I shot during my period hunt. Snuck down this pine row, saw it. My friend's actually on a drive, but I got there and there's already deer there. Snuck down, the deer went into the woods, turned around, started coming back, and just come right out perfect. I knew it was going to come. I set the camera up, leaned up against a tree, and shot that deer. and I tried to get the deer running. It crushed a tree and literally just shaved the hair right off its back on the tree. It was crazy. I mean, look at a big pile of hair right in front of the deer on the ground. Look at the tree to the right. I mean, it just scraped the hair right off the back. So here we're going into the very last day. I have my Fowler with me, using the 60 caliber Roundball Smoothbore. I have my custom built GoPro mount on my side, and you can just see I'm just walking. All of a sudden I spot something. You can tell I'm really looking hard, because literally I spotted basically a deer's butt, just the tail and what looked like a leg. So I'm trying to look around the tree because the rest of the deer's behind the tree. And like I said, my camera are my binoculars, basically. So you'll see how it's so far through the woods. It's still amazing when I watch some of this footage. How did I see these deer? And so I'm zooming in on the camera. We'll go now to the video camera footage. You can see that's all the more I saw. Actually, I saw less than that. Just saw the tail and one of the legs. It's the last day, and I have my Fowler out. So I have a 60 caliber ball in there. It's gonna make a big entrance and exit wound when it hits a deer. And it's super sunny. We're supposed to have snow and cloud cover. That would have been nice, but with the snow, with the sun, makes it a lot harder with the glare. But then we got really crunchy snow, so they're gonna hear me coming from a mile away, even with snow. I'm just gonna walk around. Hopefully, you know, it just deer happens to stand there, and you know, I happen to see it before it sees me, and or there might be other hunters out, I don't know, and push one up to me. I can get a shot. And gonna be using my GoPro homemade camera arm here behind my head, and gonna see if I can capture one on camera that way. Here's another, just walking through. This is basically the whole season. I went through these pines so many times trying to sneak up on deer, wasn't able to. This is a mile and a half later. Yeah, I'm following some deer tracks. They're a little old, but I'm trying to come in an opposite way where I've seen some deer, and something just caught my eye. So after about 30-40 seconds, I'm like, all right, this looks like a deer. It's not moving. So get the camera out and zoom in, and now we're going to the video camera footage. I'm zooming in, and there's a little doe, and it actually beds right there. I'm stuck in the open. There's big deer to the left, but look how thick it is behind there, and with the sun glaring, you can't see anything. These deer are picking me out, even when I stay in the shade and they're right there in the sunlight. They're in the thickest, nastiest stuff, and I'll pick a couple deer out, and there's always that one that I didn't see. And either they're winding me. I think the last time they winded me, I had one little small deer kept looking at me. It actually bedded down as it was watching me, then it kept getting back up, and I could see the bigger deer in the brush, but just movement. And I tried creeping up, but it's so crunchy. It's just no way. I bumped a lot of deer earlier, and it's just basically hoping to run into them without them hearing me. It's gonna be hard with a smoothbore Fowler and crunchy snow and sunny. Just never great conditions this entire season. So here again, after I left those deer, I'm another mile away, and I'm just walking and I'm looking, and all of a sudden, boom, I just don't get it. There's a deer right out in front of me. And I'm looking behind, because I could tell that it's a buck, a little buck, and I'm thinking, well, okay, maybe there's a bunch of deer going to come up behind it. So I thought, well, to get some video to really see exactly which buck this is, you know, even though it's really little, it's just a little spike type thing. And I literally get a little bit of footage of this deer, and then I just kind of hunker down and basically wait that deer out because I know there's deer down in the woods below this deer, and I'm trying to circle around them, and I just kind of wait. He just goes into the brush and basically beds down and stays there, and so I get away without him seeing me. So I bumped some deer that were actually below that buck. I cut a half-mile circle around. I'm waiting. You can see there's like a dozen deer right in front of me, all within 70 yards. And there's a big doe getting ready to come down to me, but then I spot this one to the left, and I am not at a right angle. My back is not turned, and I should have never tried to stop this deer, but I had to take the shot. I knew I flinched a little bit on the shot, and I'm just watching all the tails. I was really hoping, you can see right in the center of the video, up near the top, there's a wide tree, real gray-looking tree. That's where I was hoping the deer were going to come out. And so I thought, okay, let's shoot at a little old wooden box. And you can see the snow fly right off the top of it when I hit it. So, shooting a gun off, end of season.